my, I guess, icebreaker. So this isn't my first speech at all. I did one on the fly about veganism. That's one small part of me, but I wanted to introduce something else about me that no one might know as an icebreaker. And there's a lot of stuff I'm interested in, so it was kind of hard to figure out what I should do. Like, I'm an engineer, I love drinking beer, I'm kind of a beer nerd, and I also, but then lastly, I'm also really into comics and drawing comics. So right now, I'm kind of developing a large comic series, so I thought, since I'm into that right now, I might as well talk about it. So I've been drawing since I was a kid. Obviously, you draw as a kid all the time, but then like continue drawing till today. My style has definitely changed over the years. Like, definitely developed, influenced on stuff that I was watching or interested in at that time. And start like when I was 12 years old, I would watch Sailor Moon all the time. So all my drawings looked like anime Sailor Moon stuff. And then when I was 16, I was really into fashion design. So I would draw a lot of fancy clothes off of people. So they wouldn't really have faces. And then when I was 18, the drawings got creepier because I was more into horror movies. It just kind of has gotten everywhere. But then when I was about 19 or 20, I settled on a look that I really, really liked. So I guess I've always loved comics. Like, I read manga when I was 12 or 15, and then when I was interested in Marvel comics when the movie started coming out because of my sister. She got me into it. But the big thing was when I was about 20, I met up with one of my high school friends, and she was really into comics and was producing her own like little zines, which are you photocopy your own comics, kind of a DIY handmade thing that you pass out to everyone. And so that really fascinated me. So hers were autobiographical, and so I thinking, well, I could probably do that, So I developed a comic called Story of a Coffee Addict, and because I drink a lot of coffee all the time, I was in college, so that's what I did, and then I was really obsessed with coffee. So yeah, I started that, and then I started drawing really small comics, and then started developing everything more. And so then I just got to a point where I had enough that I wanted to create my own zine. And so I created my own one, and then I went to a SF Zine Fest this last year and was able to trade with people, which is what you usually do. You can buy people's comics, but also trading is a big part of that culture. So I started doing that, and then everyone kind of started trading, and I felt really awesome because it was my first time officially having something to hand out to people and be like, look, I actually have something. So, but yeah, it's been a large passion of mine, and I wanted to share you the process of what I do when I usually do it. So I have materials, obviously usually this is the first book not the first book I had, but usually my sketchbook. So I often start with not even like pictures, or not even like frames, but like faces. These pictures aren't even, it's just like facial expressions of like what they say. And there's a couple more copies like this. The best example I have here, this was an example where where it's just all writing. And then I slowly go to writing with some background pictures, maybe some expressions or something. And then the final version ends up something like this. Which basically I first start with my pencil, and then I ink it in and everything, and then it becomes a full comic. Now my subjects actually kind of not always revolve around coffee. It's just something that happens a lot. And then I realized that I can talk about coffee a lot. So, and this one was me talking about how much I don't like light roast. So, this this is the zine I created, the first one. It has multiple comics that I did. This is actually a copy. It's not even stapled. This was like one of my last ones because I traded them all away. But you can see here, they're all basically collections of comics that I had. And then even just like really weird pictures that I posted. This was when I was 18, actually. So, and then, just old stuff. But it's basically just a collection of short comics that I made, and now I'm actually making a full developed story, which I'm hopefully going to get soon. Right now it's this. This is what it looks like. It's all writing and it's all just drawing faces and everything. But yeah, that was just what I wanted to share about like a small part of my life. And I'm an engineer first, obviously, but comic and drawing is like one of my favorite things to do as a pastime. I mean, I have a lot of hobbies, but this is probably my biggest one. Thank you.